So first of all, can you just tell me your name and what you did for the agency?
My name is Barry Johansson. I was the executive and clinical director of Worcester Youth and Family Counseling from 1975, 76 to to 1995.
I do.
When I retired, and I've done other things.
Gotcha, exactly. And how did it start? How did working with Worcester Youth and Family start for you?
I was in Ohio, and I wasn't really happy with where we were living. And I have a friend who was teaching at SU at the time, Salisbury University, and he told me about this position, which was co-sponsored by the university and Shore Up Incorporated, and they had a local initiative in Worcester County to begin a counseling program, and they had a local board advisory board. So for 5 years, we were fortunate to work near uh, Shore Up and SU. Shore Up was the administering agency, but after about 5 years, uh, the advisory board decided they wanted to be a board of directors and run the program strictly, for Worcester County residents, in which we always had. So that's how it started, and then it began actually with a request from some students in high school. I don't remember which high school now. I think it might have been Decatur, uh, and they were looking for resources when they're feeling frustrated. Students and how to deal with issues that come up when you're a teenager. And,
Yeah, we continue with that
yeah, yeah.
definitely. So has it always been for everyone, for all ages, or was it more youth focused and kind of grew outwards from there?
We didn't turn people away. We would even see people from other counties, but we would limit that to one session to try and get them the resources they might need. Uh, so it was really community based. I mean, we had at one point we had offices in Pocomoke, uh, Berlin, and Snow Hill uh, that were all part time offices, except for one of those bases, and that changed from years to year where our base was. Here.
And looking back, what was the hardest thing about starting a mental health nonprofit in the area? Was there issues you guys ran into
Funding,
on them?
funding. We actually got to a point after we'd separated from Shore Up in a friendly manner, and we were running out of money. And it was a Friday. I'll never forget. It was a Friday afternoon, and we'd moved to an office in Snow Hill, and I realized we didn't have enough money to pay me. I was the only paid employee at the time, and it was a Friday afternoon. Uh, about 1 o'clock, I said, "What can I do?" So I called a press conference, and uh, it was covered by media, TV, two stations, I think, covered it, and we wound up having a response from the county commissioners, probably led by Jim Barrett, uh, and they helped fund, and juvenile justice also uh, provided funding for the organization at that point.
And what was different about the Worcester County area then compared to now?
Well, when we moved here in '76, I think there might have been one other person with my degree at Master's of Social Work in the county, maybe working for the health department. There might have been more, but there were very few of us. So the resources were very limited, and we had to depend a lot initially on interns from Salisbury University, who I supervised, and they went out to almost every school in the county, and they were in every school in the county by the time we left the organization.
Sure. What were the attitudes like? Were people like aware of mental health? Were they just kind of like, this is, you're overeducated for all
It,
of this? What?
it kind of depended on what their needs were.
Okay.
If you were all stressed out about life and struggling with finances, relationships, whatever, it they were very happy to see a resource. If it was just people saw it as a drain on their tax dollars, it was more difficult. Same kind of thing we're facing today.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was gonna say. It's not like that's changed much.
You know,
What was your favorite memory of working with the agency?
many. I think it was when I felt the clinical component was strong because we were doing other things then too, and I really wanted to build clinical programs so we had knowledgeable resources for families. We also at that time we started a family support center, which was actually bigger than the counseling program for young families, and it had everything from getting GEDs to health department would be in there providing services. It was a facility that we had. So that was very special, the Family Support Center, because I knew we were helping families who needed it very much. And also we developed a really good counseling team.
Awesome. And you continue to work with helping others right now. You work with the Lower Shore Autism
Community.
Community. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you learned anything from working with Worcester Youth and Family that kind of spun out into the other things you've done in the community?
Oh, there's no doubt. There's no doubt. You know, I've been in nonprofit work my whole career, except for even when I was working like for the Board of Education. You know, I was still working as a volunteer or a member of the board of various organizations. So I've always stayed involved.
Pivoting a little bit, what is your general life philosophy, just as a person?
I guess everybody deserves an opportunity, and we need to make sure that our families are healthy, that there are resources when they need assistance, and and I see that happening, but being undone, and that's a big concern.
Absolutely. And what is something you want the next generation of mental health workers, directors, leaders, what should they know as they set out? Because yeah, like you said, times are very unprecedented right now. Things are a little shaky.
It's tough. I mean, people have to look out for themselves and look out for uh, their neighbor, and that's my always been my philosophy is we look out for our neighbors and we we listen, we try to understand, and we try and remain as human as possible through it all.
Oh, thank you again. You want to say your name and anything about your current work that you want to talk about now?
Anyone seeing this, I would hope if they have an autistic family member, and I know personally what that's like because we have a 16-year-old grandson who is very challenging, and just to don't give up, to plan, to spend time finding resources, um, and to be persistent.
Thank you so much.
Well, thank you.